This is a review exterior and interior of the new Jeep Gladiator, and exclusively for you we also have a short test ride here in a certain area, and all the way down with the windshield, all the way down with the doors. This will be a lot of fun, I can promise. Let's go. In the front, well, the bumper here is a little bit different. Other than that, you can see you have the typical styling you also see from the Wrangler with this 7-slot grille. And well, you can really mistake it for maybe the very short or the middle length version. Then you don't only see that it's the Gladiator from the front, but will be very different than from the side profile. The Gladiator is even 65 centimeters longer than the long wheelbase Wrangler. So here at 5 meters 53, 218 inches or 18 foot 1. So you can really compare that also to other pickup trucks. Here the Rubicon, the off-road version, and also with the removed doors here. That's pretty interesting. In the US it's not a problem, but remember, when you do it in Europe, you need to have at least one side mirror, otherwise the police will stop you. So it's not a problem even in Germany to drive with the doors out, but you would need an additional mirror. You always need 2 mirrors then. So one in the middle and at least one here at the side. So you can actually only demount one door at the moment. Very interesting. 17-inch wheels here with off-road tires for the Rubicon version. Great contrast here also to the white. Here also the windshield is mounted down for maximum of fresh air. And then you can see there's even longer wheelbase than the 5-door Wrangler. Yeah, that's pretty massive. And of course then the loading area right there. You can also put some motocross bikes on there if you have it like this. The rear hatch all down, then it's actually possible. It's even allowed to drive like that. You just need to fix them really tightly. So for not only off-road use, also just for outdoor leisure use, or when you put some other equipment there in the rear, that would be the use case for this one. And it is still off-road capable. Of course, somewhat limited then with a long wheelbase there. You cannot go all the way up to small vents that you can do with the 3-door. But a very interesting concept and another addition to their old model lineup. The Gladiator Rubicon, by the way, here also gets those special Fox shocks, both in the rear and in the front. And in the rear, square dimensions here, as we know from pickup trucks. I really like this contrasted lettering right there with the Jeep, and also those 3-dimensional tail lamps here. Gladiator also gets 2 towing hooks right there, special off-road towing hooks, and the normal towing is close to 3 tons, depends on 2.7 tons was the latest official figure. And the payload then, if we put it down, by the way, here is also damper, that's cool. Payload here just over 700 kilograms, and you get a special coating for this one, this special rugged coating. And of course you can also sit down here, or as I said earlier, you can also put the motorcycle bikes here that the rear wheels are also just on here then. And there are also special equipment that you can have, like like a net here on the outside, for example. So 2 bikes do actually fit right in here. What's also interesting is if you come around here, there's also a power plug right there. So for any outdoor activities, for example, that car also comes quite handy. And very important that all for the tension belts and so on, you can use the side hooks here or those then here. So this is very important, especially when you want to fix the bikes. And that's the Rubicon Gladiator here in black, so different color. And also this one here is all the way closed with the closed setup, hardtop is mounted, also the windshield and so on. I think it's very interesting to see both at the same place at the same time. Which one would you go for, the black or the white? You also have some flexible solutions here for the rear. For example, this one here, a bicycle mount. This would be one possibility. And there's, for example, also the like you can put in some trays, for example, here on the rear that you can slide them open when you put the hatch here down. So different solution, especially from the accessory part. You know, they call this department MOPA, and then you can get different accessories here also for the Gladiator. Here, this one also got those special handles right there. That's really cool to hold on tight, especially in off-road situations. Really like those. Look at those slots here from our 3-door Wrangler Rubicon, the slots in the front grille. Not sure if you can see it on camera, but the slots here on the Gladiator are a little bit wider for a little bit more cooling. And the Gladiator is only available with the bigger engines. So there is the 3.6 liter V6 petrol engine with 290 horsepower, not available in Europe. And there is the 3 liter V6 diesel with 264 horsepower, mated with an 8-speed automatic gearbox by ZF. It's really funny to film the interior here when everything is right open. So Thomas B standing now on the loading area, and you can see the interior in front is just like as we know it from the Wrangler. You can get those red accentuations here for the Rubicon. You get this optional 8.4-inch screen on the right and the bigger instrument cluster on the left. Very much upright. So this is really all the same Wrangler and Gladiator. You can see that it's basically the same car in the front compartment. Very interesting. Of course, more you can see also in our Wrangler reviews than always from the interior. Special is also then in the rear here. This will be very interesting. What about the wheelbase? Does it change here anything of the space here in the rear? So first I go into the front here, and I can just confirm again it's the same seating position. I can adjust the steering wheel like this, and when I sit like this, you know, that would be a suitable position here also for me in the Gladiator. It's really funny to look to the front when there's no windshield mounted, definitely. And then when I switch to the rear side, how much space do I actually have here? And well, that's as much legroom as I would have in the 5-door Wrangler actually. So the increased wheelbase does not go into the legroom on the second row. It's more that you really have this loading area. So it's longer on the exterior, but also longer on the wheelbase, but it doesn't change anything here for the rear. So 5-door Wrangler and the Gladiator, basically the same space we have than here on the rear seats. Interesting is here, by the way, that you can not only flip those seats, then you have a top tether in the rear, so when you put some luggage on there, but it's also interesting that you can put those seats up actually like this. And then you have underneath right there some boxes, so you can put some stuff in there. So pretty handy use. And you can also put up this one here, and then there's another box right there. And here's also the storage for the nuts and bolts to mount everything back on again, as for the doors and so on. So guys, now to a very special drive here. Actually, I was told I'm the first journalist in Europe who is allowed to drive the Gladiator. We just can drive it here a little bit off-road around this area here. But it's still, you know, will be a lot of fun. So no road test yet allowed, but... And the first time actually I'm driving also with all things down here, everything is really cool. So we just drive a little around here. That's really cool. I mean, it's so much fun to have everything open. Wow, this is amazing. Of course, you also feel that you have a longer wheelbase here in the Gladiator. So it's not as agile, but from the first impression, I think it doesn't feel that much different than you would drive in the, you know, in the 5-door Wrangler. So actually, it's you know, it's pretty cool. And this all open setup, I mean, this is so amazing, so special. We also have special camera mounts here for you today. The one here on the front windshield, which is down, and the other one right there on the top. So this is really amazing. Wow, and look at that landscape. Wow. So a cool tour here for you. Steering wise and so on, everything feels just the same as you would know it from the normal Wrangler. It's just, you know, with the longer wheelbase that you might feel. Hey. So this is basically the only difference. And we'll turn around right here again and go the way back. See, also put in the reverse gear. We have a rear view camera. Oh, we also have the front view camera. That's pretty cool. So, and both have a very nice resolution. That's good that we can use this one actually. So it's very easy to steer this car around, especially since you have this, you know, the longer loading area right there. This is really good that we have the rear view camera. Thank you. Sorry, special test ride here today. Yeah, really enjoying this, and especially if you drive somewhere where it's really hot or so, then it's really cool to keep it all the way open. Easy steering here again. And you know, from the first impression, this longer wheelbase isn't hindering me too much. It would maybe be a problem if I go up some, you know, very winding corners or something. But the first impression is that this car here is still pretty easy to handle, also with the longer wheelbase. We also go a little bit tighter now, a little bit on this area, because again, not allowed to take this car on the road yet. We'll do that at a later stage when it's allowed for everyone. I'm in the rear-wheel drive mode actually at the moment. That gives me the most agility, but also the low-range gear here is available especially for the Rubicon. The Rubicon also with those very soft off-road tires that makes the car a little bit, you know, wobbling more around and so on. Now again to this different surface. Yeah, everyone is enjoying me driving around here. Yeah, I mean, there's no air suspension here, so it can get somewhat rough. Oh, now we're doing some camera blowing here. So the other camera guys also have a moving around vehicle. So let's see, we can also go around this grass here, for example, just to take a little stroll. How rough it gets, it also depends a little bit on the tire pressure, of course. If you put it a little bit lower, it gets a little bit easier than as for the soft nuts. When at the moment the tire pressure is quite high also, then it's a little bit rougher. But here again, I can stress, look at how easy the car is to steer, and also from the whole turning circle and so on. It's actually not too bad. So the wheels turn quite a lot. See, 38 degrees it says here also in those front instruments, and that's the reason why they see here the turning circle is really not too bad. Like, it's just especially again how cool it is to have everything all open. That's such an amazing feeling, definitely. So there's also a small rut here in the road. Look, we can approach that one slowly, right there. But this vehicle, of course, has no problem doing that. So we don't run over some people here. Oh, I want to take a look at that one here. That's a 1941 special edition for a 3-door. There's special Mopa parts you can see there. So much fun in here. Yeah, I mean, I could very well imagine putting like some motocross bikes on here and then going to the next track. So I think it's a very interesting addition to the lineup. Here we're in the rear-wheel drive only. We also have some wheel spin here on this soft ground. Yeah, but I think got some first impressions here from for you exclusively with the Jeep Gladiator. A lot of fun, and looking forward to do more with this one, definitely. So with this new Jeep Gladiator, you get all the features that you get from the new Wrangler generation, both exterior and interior, especially also infotainment-wise, but you're a little bit more flexible because you have this pickup loading area, for example, for leisure activities. It's especially fun here to drive with all the way, everything demounted. This is also one of the special unique features both of the Wrangler and of the Gladiator. Of course, when you have some winding corners, the shorter wheelbase versions will be more agile. But again, when you drive rather slowly or just straight, then it won't make any difference. And I could show here on this short test ride today that even though it has a longer wheelbase, it's still quite easy to handle, especially with this new steering input and also rear view camera, front view camera, that you can still have everything under control. So pretty impressive first impressions here from the Gladiator. Hope you enjoyed this small ride. Of course, stay tuned when we have the full road test of this one.